We are rolling. Episode 493.
Wow.
No Laugh Track Podcast. Again, that is the proper response of when I say that number there.
It's a lot of episodes.
That is a lot of episodes. It's pretty much one a week, give or take. We missed a few months here and there. Didn't do one last week. Blah, blah, blah.
COVID.
493, but the first time with Jeff Dye.
Excited to be here.
Yeah.
It's fun.
My name's Justin Severson. I don't think I said that at the beginning there for the people who don't remember. And to remind Jeff that my name is Justin. And
Yeah,
you're Jeff.
no, I remember.
And
I'm
here
good with
we
names.
are. And congratulations on finally getting a week at Acme.
Yeah, it is, and it's funny. Is congratulations is in order. Like this, we've already been talking before the podcast, but like I've wanted to play this club for a long, long time. So it's nice to finally be here.
So I'm sure you saw it, but I don't think you saw Lewis come over. The owner of the club here came over before we started recording and pointed out to me that your friend Nick Swartzen sent him a text yesterday saying, "Hey, good call on booking Jeff Dye.
Yeah.
He's one of the best."
Nick is one of my favorite people like in the world. We have a lot of common interests, me and Nick. We like NFL, Major League Baseball. We like drinking and bar hopping and blacking out. That's our thing. That's our thing together. We got a lot of stuff together.
You're supposed to say not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, no. He's the only friend I've ever had where we'll be like at a bar and then I'll just look over and he's gone. I'm like, where'd Nick go? It's like, it's fun.
Are you worried at that time? Or are you like,
Not at
fine.
all. He's fine. He's made it this long. He knows what he's doing. He's a veteran.
Yeah, damn right. So you did one show so far here at
Yep.
Acme. What did you think?
It was awesome. I didn't know how lefty Minneapolis leaned. Because I play both sides. I mean, if you hear my act,
Yes,
like
you do.
You'll
Really
hear,
well.
You'll hear one thing. You'll say like, "Oh, he's with us," and then I'll do the next joke, and you go, "Oh no, he's with us." So Johnny Cash used to call it walking the line. I call it playing both sides, and I think it's a fun way to do comedy because there isn't just one side that comes out to these things. You know,
No,
like people come in, with all their stuff. So I try to work both ways. But I was surprised last night.
How did you pick up on that?
So I have a joke where I say, if you were, this is a really bastardized version of the joke.
Yeah. Do the bastardized version.
If I say, so I say, like, if a guy says to me, "Hey, I'm Republican," I go, "Yeah, me too," and I give him all these things, and usually the crowd goes, "Yeah," all the Republicans go, "Yeah," and then the joke is, but if he was to say to me, "Not me, I'm a Democrat," I'd be like, "I'm just playing me too," and then I play into the left side, and then they laugh or cheer. Well, last night when I said that I am a Republican part, quiet. And I was like, there's not a single one here. Interesting. Usually that gets a little pop.
Oh, there were. They're
closeted.
Yeah, they didn't come up to you afterwards and be like,
no. Well, I mean, people came up to me afterwards, but nobody said anything like that. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
There were some.
Interesting.
There were some. They know where they are.
Yeah.
And we're like,
That's how LA is.
I'll just sit on my hands for
Yeah,
this
in
one.
LA, everybody has to they all look around before they say anything that's even remotely conservative.
Sure.
They're like,
Sure.
me too. Say a thing like
That must be fun doing that in different parts of the country, though.
It is, yeah, it's exciting. Which is exciting to see how they're going to react. Fascinating.
Do you do the joke in all different parts of the act? Is it? You didn't do it right at the top.
No, I do it like right after. Trying to think.
Is the placement of that matter? I guess is what I'm asking. Does the placement
not
matter?
really.
Not really.
But I don't do it first.
Yeah.
I never do it first because then I want to be able to somewhat be edgy enough where there is somebody kind of going, "I don't really like that."
Yeah.
Then do that to almost make them feel guilty about feeling that way.
Yeah.
I think comedy nowadays is, and I'm definitely not the only one doing it. I might be like every other comic in the fashion that we have to like coach the crowds now. You almost have to remind them they're at a comedy. Because people are so opinionated nowadays. I think people have always been opinionated, but maybe more now than ever. And so like I feel like every 5 minutes I'm reminding them, I'm a joke boy, I'm a comedian, I'm a clown. It's like you have to constantly come back to that.
Yeah, I like that when you're on stage and you're like, you flat out go, "Look, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't even believe this stuff.
It's not that important.
It's not that important."
And if it is important, why are you coming to me for it? Like that's another part of it. Like if these subjects are that sensitive to and important, don't worry about what I think. That's the craziest thing too. Is like I put it on my dad in the act, but it's like the transgender thing is like you don't need me to have an opinion about that at all.
Yeah. That's
Like,
a fantastic
Who cares
point.
if I agree or disagree with that?
Right.
At all. It affects nothing.
No, I freaking love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, the day we're recording this is St. Patrick's Day. I saw this morning there's a bar near my house that they were cracking a keg. Free beer at 9 a.m. this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, that's their deal? They're doing free beer?
Mm-hmm. For
What,
St.
what
Patrick's
are they
Day.
running a non-profit over there? How's that work?
Well, they get you in the door, and then, you
okay.
know, then after that, when the actually half keg. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, what does that
So once the
last?
keg's gone.
Once the keg's
I see,
gone,
I see.
then you have to pay.
Yeah.
And, you know, your foot's already, you know, you already
Yeah.
got a seat. You're already
The
comfortable.
whiskey's
with your
not free. It's the half keg. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what they're doing at a bar, or what they already did at a bar near my house for St. Patrick's Day. Do you have any memories? Does that mean anything to you, St. Patrick's Day?
Not really. We did one pub crawl that was really fun one time, but I'm not a big beer guy, so it's like just so much beer, and I'm more of like a whiskey dude,
Yeah.
you know, and that
They
gets
make Irish whiskey.
I drink exclusively Irish whiskey, but it gets you banged up pretty fast. But like when you're doing those pub crawls, you know, you can't just keep having whiskeys. It's not gonna, you know. So I don't know. I don't really think much about St. Patrick's Day, but I do like any excuse to drink. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's pretty much always been for me.
Yeah, at the news this morning, they go, "Are you Irish?" And I go, "No." And they go, "Oh, I was just asking because it's St. Patrick's Day." And I'm like, you know, everyone celebrates this, right? Like, it's not like oh, he's not Irish, he's not gonna drink today. It's like, no. It's,
Oh, no, it's like Vax cards. You got to show your ID.
yeah, exactly. They go, not in here, buddy.
No, I paid Ancestry. I'm 3%. Let me in to be a
Oh,
drink.
nice. Well, that is being a white guy. We're everything.
Yeah, right?
You do those Ancestry.com, it comes back, it goes, you're all of them.
Yeah.
You're all this. You're all the. People.
Go ahead, argue with me. Try to prove it.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think those things are real? Those Ancestry.coms?
I don't know because I did pay for it and
Yeah.
it switches over time, which I guess
Interesting.
they say, well, we're getting more information, but there's no way to prove.
Yeah.
I can't go back. This is how I'm trying to research it. There's no other way to research it.
Right.
Right. So I can't go like,
But if
well,
I-
they're saying that you're wrong. There is no they.
Right.
Other they. So,
Well, I
yeah.
think like if sending your spit to like all the different ones, do like a 23andMe, do an Ancestry, and then just compare notes, see like which ones, if any of them line up.
Can't they do that for me?
They should.
They
Yeah.
should.
I also think it's funny too. Like, I don't have a lot of conspiracy theory friends. I'm probably the most conspiracy theory friend out of all my group, but people will get like so paranoid. My buddy Randy, right? He doesn't want anyone to know where he's going. He always tries to be off the grid. He won't do like social media because he's like, I don't want the government tracking me.
Yeah.
But then a few years ago, he did like an Ancestry. He sent his spit to just some nameless company.
Yeah. Then now he's in their database.
Yeah.
And you don't know who has that.
You sent them your DNA, bub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's not a good idea.
Remind him that they've already replicated him a
Oh, for
number
sure.
of times.
Or if they want to frame me for murder, like my spit is at some giant warehouse.
That's right.
Yeah, and they're going to put it on the hood of some lady's car and go, well, yeah, he was the last one there. And I don't even know that lady.
You better have a freaking alibi for
I
every
know.
everything you ever do.
Crazy. Scary stuff.
Yeah, I have a friend that puts tape over the lens on his
Interesting.
camera.
Yeah. I do that. So have you seen that movie or the show Black Mirror?
Heard of it? I never watched it.
It's awesome, but it's all based on techno paranoia.
Yeah.
So every episode you'll watch and you'll go, that could happen, because they're really good at making these scenarios of like what could happen with our phones. One of the episodes, briefly, I'll explain it, is the webcam on the kid's computer. He masturbates in front of his computer, and then once he's done looking at porn, he just like closes his computer, and then he starts getting all these messages on his computer like, we recorded what you did, we're going to send it to everyone in your contacts list if you don't give us money, right?
Yeah.
And that's become an actual scam now.
Yes.
That's become a real
I've been
scam.
hearing about that.
But the thing is, they don't really have it. They're bluffing. So they're just trying to get you to send money, and one of my friends got suckered that way. But since that episode, even before the scam, I did buy a little thing that covers.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, for my home computer,
You
not on my
did.
phone, but on my home computer. Yeah, so it worked. 50-cent Amazon purchase of just this little slider over the.
So also what you're saying is that's where you masturbate.
Absolutely, yeah, my home computer.
Okay.
Never my phone.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
What am I? I look like some sort of heathen? Phone porn. I'm an old cowboy.
Old cowboy.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how you were And coming up on stage next, how you were announced last night.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's my favorite. So what I like to do is just come up with some silly-ass thing that the crowd knows, oh, this guy's going to be silly. I like it because so for the people that didn't hear the set or come last night, like if you say this next guy's been on the Tonight Show multiple times, he's a regular on the blah, 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 they don't care. I feel like they used to care. Or if you're in a room with only 10 people and you like maybe just mention something so they know, you know, that I'm important or that I've been on television, that might work. But I think for the most part, the crowds are just, they don't care. So if I always have the guy just say something insane, you know, like he founded the Children's Hospital in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So I just kind of came up with one last night. I told him, say he was voted 2019's best non-trans cruise ship comedian. It made me laugh, and so he said it. I don't think they laughed at all. I think they were all like, "What? What does he mean non-trans? What is it?" It was a very fun, but it's more fun for me, and I hope that the crowd get laughs usually.
And much like the ancestry, we can't
prove it.
We can't fact check that.
Exactly. Yeah. But also like, I like to think that it makes them go, "Oh, he's just messing around. This guy's gonna be an idiot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it caught my attention. Yeah, for
it's
sure.
fun.
I was like, "What the?
I like
what?"
that you picked up on that.
That is ridiculous. Let's talk about some of the things that you have going on right now besides touring and doing comedy. You have a podcast.
Yeah.
12 packs.
12 packs. Yeah.
Let's talk about that one.
We just crack beers and crack packs of cards. And it's been really fun. Topps and Panini sends us free cards.
Okay, that was. Oh, you son of a bitch.
I know, it's the best. So like literally, if I all the time I get FedEx packages from New York and I crack it up. It's just all these boxes of cards. And I was like, if 10-year-old me knew that I got to grow up and just tell jokes for a living, get free cards, you know, sent from the companies that I grew up on, like Topps and you know, Bowman and Fleer, like I'd be in heaven. And I feel like I'm in heaven. It's great.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
What a gig.
We haven't opened many good cards, though. I will say that. Like, you keep because I watch. I don't know if you do, but these they break. It's a thing on Instagram and TikTok of like them breaking cards. And then showing.
A lot of my For You is box breaking.
Yeah, there you go. And it's like card porn. That's what they call it now. Is because it's so, like the things they get are insane. And they have to go through.
I can't afford to buy them. This is what I do.
Oh, yeah. I watch it too.
Yeah.
And so they go through so many and they don't post those. They post the big hits. And so, like, when you're only watching the best of the best, you're opening a thing and you're like, I got a Raphael Devers relic card. And everyone's like, who cares? Yeah. The internet is not going to care about that at all. But it's fun for us because it also, like, inspires, like, stories, right? Like, so, like, before we started, you had a great Kent Herbeck story. If I open a pack and it's Kent Herbeck, I'll be like, oh, I remember this guy. And then you tell your story.
Yes.
That happens all the time on the podcast. So with little different things. I told a Willie McGee story the other day, and just like things you would never think that are back in your brain.
Yeah. What a great starting point for conversation with those cards.
And we don't just open baseball. We open
saw that.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, well, and then this will lead into perfectly like a company like Topps, Allen and Ginter will do cards of, and then we've talked about this on the podcast before. It's one of my favorite things. They'll do like inanimate objects, they'll do comedians, and sometimes comedians get a card.
We got a guy on my podcast, Skinny George is what we call him, because he lost hundreds of pounds, and he's obsessed with the cards that are of regular things, and those cards are ridiculous. They're like, it's a Vermont goose, and you're like, what?
I remember I got locomotive once.
Yeah, just look. How vague is that? Locomotive. Yeah, they're terrible, and I always make fun of them. I actually think it's funny because the cards are so ridiculous. One was like Pocket Aces had its own baseball card from Allen and Ginter, and I was like, it's getting ridiculous, but it's also kind of fun. We always give them to Skinny George because he like loves them, so like that's kind of a running gag on our thing. I have an Allen and Ginter card.
Yes.
And next week Kelsey Cook is here.
Yes.
She was in the same year of mine. We both have an Allen and Ginter card.
So Kelsey's done the podcast once. I brought along my Allen and Ginter Kelsey card and had her sign it. And I looked through all of my shit this week, Jeff, and I couldn't find.
Jeff Dye card.
I have at least 2 Jeff Dye cards.
Oh, really?
I could not freaking find them.
That's an easy get.
Wasn't enough time to order one on eBay to get one
I'll
here
send you one.
I'll
remember to send it because I love signing baseball cards. Because another thing I used to do when I was a kid, which we all did, is we would like practice our autograph because that's what like pro athletes do.
Yes.
And so now that I have it, like during COVID, they brought me all my cards to sign to put into the packs or whatever, the ones that are autographed.
Yeah.
And I could have sat there all day. He was like, I've never seen anyone so happy to do this. You know, because when they bring it to the athletes are overwhelmed.
Oh,
and
sure.
They probably don't enjoy it as much because
Yeah.
they do it all the time. Where I don't do it all the time. So for me, I was just sitting there signing. I go, this is awesome. I was just talking to him. He goes, this is the most enjoyable autograph experience I've had.
Do you was the quality of your signature on number 200 the same as 100?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you also can see that where like these guys clearly are sick of signing their name, and it's just like two little dashes. You're like, come on, man.
I know. Me and my buddy
You're
Aaron
ripping me off
Marsh,
here.
we actually send those back and we text back and forth the worst autos we can find on the internet. Because like some of the like pro wrestlers, right? His name is Mark Calloway, but he has to sign The Undertaker his whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's terrible. He's writing a word that isn't even his name. It's kind of like not an autograph at all. But anyways, so we'll send those back and forth because some of these guys get so lazy, so lazy. But more to have a little empathy for some of these baseball players, to give them a little bit of some credit in their defense. A lot of the Dominican players they didn't even learn to do cursive or any of these things. They just been playing baseball their whole life in Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Cuba.
Never thought of that.
Yeah, and so for them it's very intimidating to even try to figure out how to write cursive. So and they don't want to print it, and also print is different in English than anything else. And so they'll just kind of like do their initials, and it'll look so shaky and weird. Yeah. So I give them a bit of a longer leash, but some of these autographs are garbage.
They're brutal.
Yeah.
You just reminded me, though, you unlocked a memory bringing up these names.
There you go.
I went and stood in line once and got some autographs from some wrestlers one time.
Oh, nice.
Kane was one of them, and X-Pac, and he signed X.
Oh, just X. Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually lives right by me. Sean Waltman is
from Minnesota.
Is
originally.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives right by me. He'll like just pop in and do my like we'll be in the middle of a podcast, and then Sean will just come to my house, and I'm like, well, I guess now X-Pac's on the podcast also. He's a cool guy, really nice guy.
The Cards podcast?
No, I have a podcast called Jeff Dye's Friendship.
Yeah.
And it says just me and whoever wants to be on the
Okay.
pod, like whoever's willing to be my friend. That's the only rule. And that was a better way the reason I started the Friendship podcast is because, so like I have famous friends, right? We like I've accumulated famous friends because of my career.
Sure.
So if I have like Russell Wilson on, that gets like a lot of views, or if I have, I had Hulk Hogan once, all these things, those are big gets, so people watch. But also like my buddy Dave has funny stories. Nobody wants to hear Dave's stories just because he's not like a pro wrestler and like on TV. So it's like, well, why I want to hear these stories too from everybody. I find everybody very interesting.
Yeah.
So it was just my excuse to be able to have my buddies on who have all these great stories and stuff, even though they might drive an Uber or they're a cameraman or something.
Sure.
So that was the only reason I started that podcast. I also have a third podcast that's on every week on iHeartRadio with Freddie Prinze Jr. And we just talk wrestling once a week.
Real? What?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Jeez, I thought I caught everything. I didn't know about this one.
Yeah, he's one of my closest friends, and we used to just like FaceTime each other and talk about wrestling. And then he's like, like someone would probably pay us good money to just do this. And I was like, yeah, if you can make it happen. And so he reached out to iHeart or whoever, and now I'm with him every week talking about wrestling.
No shit.
Yeah, pretty cool.
What day is it? What day is that out?
It goes out every Wednesday. We start season 3 in a few weeks, but it's been really fun. And we call it Wrestling with it was originally called Wrestling with Freddie, and he did it by himself. Now it's called Wrestling with Friends / Wrestling with Freddie. But the reason we named it that is because, or the reason we like the name is because it can WWF is the acronym. Wrestling with Friends or Wrestling with Freddie. So we can legally use WWF for stickers and things that we do. So it's a nice little way to cheat that.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love it. Okay, so you've already said you're getting free baseball cards, which I couldn't be more jealous of. Are you also getting comped tickets to go watch wrestling then?
Sort of. He is, and then I go with him.
Okay.
Because like I used to date a wrestler named Becky Lynch, and I tried to go to Raw one time, and they told me I couldn't come. So now I make sure no one knows that I'm going to be there, and it's just Freddie gets the tickets, and I go with Freddie as Freddie's +1. Because it's Becky Lynch now is married and has a kid with another wrestler who's a huge star named Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And so for a while there, at least, it was like I wasn't allowed to go.
Get out of here,
Yeah,
Jeff.
so stupid. I mean,
If
I don't.
wait a minute, wait. If I go back and then, like, watch Raw or something from when you were, like, is there any, like, where you're spotted in the crowd?
No,
and they're
nothing like that. No. And you know why? But I would literally go like, I used to joke, who do I gotta fuck to get good tickets around here, Because like she was like the biggest star in wrestling, and I'm still sitting like 30 rows back. But it was so funny because I was like, Bex, like why can't like I get good seats, And then she's like, Jeff, you brought like 20 of your friends. It's not like, and she's right. I brought like everybody.
Yeah.
She can't give 20 guys front row seats, so it's just me being an idiot.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if people start sharing this story or this gets heard. I don't think it was her or her husband who were blocking me from coming to the thing. I think what happens is they saw my name and they thought, well, this could cause some.
Sure.
I don't think it was them. I
Sure.
don't think they were going, he can't come.
Yeah.
I think that was just someone trying to get ahead of it and going, we don't need any distractions or what. So I think that's what it was.
What if there's another Jeff Dye out there that's still getting
Yeah, he's
not
screwed.
allowed
Like,
into
what the hell?
wrestling? What do you fucking mean, man?
Yeah, that guy keeps screwing me. I Google myself and he comes up and. Yeah, I bet that happens.
Hilarious. We talked a little bit about. Wait, I want to know the drinking aspect. You said beers on the 12-pack.
Yeah, so
how do the beers tie in?
Started as every time you finish a beer, you get to open a pack of cards. The problem was we're not drinking enough beers for that to be like a thing. So we kind of scrapped that just a little bit because otherwise you wouldn't be seeing much cards. You know, if I drink 5 beers in 40 minutes and then you've seen only 5 packs. I mean, some of these packs only have 4 cards in it, and stuff like that. So we've started now it's just we're just drinking beers while we're opening packs.
And then what do you are you selling any of these when you're done, or you just collecting, or what are you doing with them? The cards.
Our goal is that if you listen to the podcast and you watch, like if you can just message us, we'll give you the cards. Like we don't we're just trying to get anyone to be interested in the cards, interested in the stuff. If the card is really valuable and someone wants it, we'll do that. But if it's really valuable, we just sell it because my buddy Mike is trying to like kind of build up the podcast thing, and there's costs for the studio that he runs. So we'll sell it, and he'll buy another camera with the card. I mean, we've had a few that are in the thousands, and so he just uses it. And then also Skinny George is trying to get surgery for. He's lost so much weight that he needs like a skin. Like his skin is too baggy now because he's lost so much weight. So he's trying to get surgery for that. So we're also using the money to kind of make that happen for him is the goal, which Bert has agreed to pay 1/3 of the surgery, Bert Kreischer. And then I'm trying to think who else it was. I think Brendan Schaub was going to pay 1/3. And so the money that, they're making more than Jeff Dye, Bert and Brendan. So I'm using the money from the podcast to try to hopefully pay for that third. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Nice. And I listened, so I guess watched I think it's the most recent one on YouTube. It had to have been new because you mentioned Ja Morant, the basketball player's getting in a little trouble. And you mentioned something about just buying some of his cards.
That I just bought some?
Yeah. Where do you go and...
I didn't buy any cards.
Oh, maybe I misheard what I was...
Ja Morant, though, is... I don't even get the big deal. I mean, I know you're not supposed to, like, hold guns on Instagram Live and stuff, but I'm surprised that he got fined for it.
Well, actually, my favorite part is now, that he's had to do the apologizing, and it's the, I am so sorry about what I did. I have learned my lesson. It's like 9,000 cliches about doing the wrong thing and being better.
If I ever get in trouble, I'll just disappear for a little while and then come back. I don't think I could do the forced, unless I was really sorry. If I was really sorry, then I'd apologize immediately. But if I wasn't, I would just disappear for a while. Just deactivate my social media for a bit.
That'd be kind of fun, too.
Instead of doing the robot apology that no one cares about.
They're all the same.
Yeah. I was surprised that, like, they turned on Ja Morant, too. Like Black Twitter, I don't know if you, like, look at that. But, like, they were so hard on Ja Morant. And I was like, I thought that they would be, like, thinking he's cool.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't know, like, why they would.
Interesting. Very interesting.
They turned on him.
I will admit I did not catch much of the show when it was on, but you did a TV show with Henry Winkler, Terry Bradshaw, George Foreman, William Shatner. I remember when it was on.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch it.
Yeah, well, it was just fun doing the show. I don't know.
I imagine it was amazing.
I don't know what it was like watching it, but I going to these countries with 4 old guys that are like legends was like Also, it was NBC, so their budget was just insane. Like, we were never not doing something fun or not doing something that's very exclusive or not doing something that was very expensive. And it was all free for us. So we're getting paid heaps of money to go to the best places in all these different countries. It was a dream. If they'd have called me and said, we need you to do 8 more seasons, but the rule is you can't go home. You have to shoot all 8 consecutively, and you're just going to be working. You won't see your home for another year or something. I would have been fine with it.
Really?
Yeah, it was so fun.
Did you, when you got that gig,
Yeah.
did you know what it was going to, how was that presented to you?
So when I got the gig, they hadn't even casted all those guys yet.
Okay.
It used to be a Korean show called Grandpa's Over Flowers. And it was a show about a young Asian guy and his grandpa, and his grandpa's 3 friends. And it was kind of like, these guys are old now. They've kind of settled into being an older person that doesn't, try to like go to, but they have things they want to scratch off their bucket list or do.
Yeah.
And his son is in charge of like organizing it, but he's also always pushing their boundaries. So he'll be like, guys, guess what we're doing today? And the guy's like, we don't want to do anything. Like, we're old.
Yeah.
Just let us be. And he's like, all right, we're going to go skydiving. And they're like, we don't want to go And then through the skydiving or whatever he has them do, they really realize like, oh yeah, I'm not dead yet. Like, I can experience these things and enjoy it and push myself and push It's a fun idea. And so then America bought it, NBC bought it and brought it to the American version.
Yeah.
So they just didn't know how to like get me. They didn't know like what was my position because these aren't my dad. It's not my grandpa. So they were like, how do we have 4 celebrities who will be this guy that organizes it? So the thing is that because a lot of people go, how'd you get that? 4 really famous guys who are old and legends, and then you. Why are you on this? And I do get that, even though it hurt my feelings. I understand why they're asking that.
I didn't ask that.
No, but people all the time.
Sure.
I'll be at a coffee shop like, you're that guy from that show. How'd you get that? I'm like, all right. But I do understand the question. And I also think that I was the secret cup for that show in a way. Because it's like, I represent you. I'm the viewer. I'm like, if you got to go be with these guys.
Yeah.
I'm the everyday man who's like, oh, that's what it would be like to hang out with Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
He's going to talk your ear off. He's going to drink with you, force you cigars, and he's going to tell you all these great things, and he's sometimes inappropriate, but most of the time, but he's just all the time a lovable guy. And so that's why it was fun, or why I think I did so well on that show is because people go, oh, that was it, that he's me.
Yeah.
It was fun.
What, George Foreman, how was he?
Great guy, man. I love him. I still talk to him. We'll text every once in a while, but like,
Really?
very, very conservative guy. Like very, very like a man of God, like church guy.
Sure.
And
He's got a movie coming out soon?
yes, and so he's very funny and very, very like very. I'm trying to think if I should share this. So on the show, he would always be sleeping. Right? We would always be like, "Oh, George is asleep," because a lot of the shots would just be the 3 guys and me, and no George Foreman. And we would always go, "Oh, George is sleeping," right? So the truth was, George didn't want to be in any scenes where we're drinking, and me and Terry are always drinking, and he didn't want to be in any scenes where we're smoking cigars, and Terry's always smoking a cigar, and so like. He would always be like, I ain't gonna be in this shop with them drinking and cussing, and like whatever. He would like get, he didn't want to be around it because he's like a very religious guy, and so we had to justify that he wasn't there. So we would always just go, oh, he's sleeping, which was code for he threw a fit and stormed off, and we had to shoot the scene.
I love it.
Yeah, and I love Georgie. Great guy. His family's great. He's like I got to meet. I think I've met almost all of his kids at this point, and they're all great. Just a cool family. Really good guy.
What's the thing that a lot of them are named George? Is that true?
That is true, yeah. And he told me the reason why a long time ago, and I was like, that is brilliant. But I don't really remember. It was something to do with, like, I can't remember. It was, like, basically if they get a speeding ticket or something like that, like, it has all their name on it. So it's like nobody can really know who it's for. So, some sort of weird.
Oh, my goodness.
So, he told me something like that. It might have not been true, but, like, I remember going, that's pretty smart. But I don't remember. Yeah, I used to do a joke a long time ago. I was like, George Foreman is the only boxer who didn't have brain damage. Yeah, just ask his kids. George Jr., George Jr., George Jr., George Jr., George Jr.
Nice. Nice. I see 2 of your CDs sitting
Yep.
up here on a table.
My albums.
Did someone bring those and just leave them here last
No,
night?
they were on this table because I just hold them up during the show, and since I'm going to be doing 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow, I just left them up here.
These will be for sale.
Yep.
after
Well,
the
that's
shows.
just the ones I'll show, and then I got a bunch of those. Yeah. So Live from Madison was my first album, and then the second one is Dumb is Gooder, and I think I'm the only comedian still slinging CDs. Not a lot of people doing that anymore.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Still
You'll
around.
see like some of the comics sell records, like big records.
Oh, sure.
Because that's hip. You know, it's like it's so. Maybe CDs someday will come back.
Darn right.
Yeah, no, and I'll be ahead of the curve.
Uh-huh.
But I don't like. So I'm trying to think. Matt Bronger, I know does. Nick Thune. Some of these comics they sell like records. Like
Oh, yeah.
actual record. How many of those people that buy those records do you think go home and listen to that?
I have 4 comedy albums, contemporary.
Yeah.
Have never listened to any.
Right. Because I listen to records, but it's like I put on like Elvis or like Hank Williams Jr. or something like while I'm drinking with my friends.
Yeah.
But I have like Pryor, I've got like Carlin. I don't listen to any of those records. They're just there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that people just buy it because it's like a big poster. They go,
Pretty much.
I've got
the
a
ones
cool-
I have, they're really good to get a signature on.
Yeah.
Put them up on the wall.
it's like a little piece.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but listening, which is what they're made for.
Yeah, I don't
Not
think
so much.
They might as well just bring record covers.
Exactly.
Actually, that was what I'll do. I'll make record covers and go, let's be honest, you're not going to listen to it. Just buy the record cover.
Just have a little piece of paper with a download inside.
Oh, that's
it.
smart. Yeah, actually, that is genius. That
Uh-huh.
is, I'm famous for thinking of merch ideas and then never doing it. That's probably most comics.
So a few years from now, somebody will be making a killing.
yeah, exactly.
with
They're
that.
gonna hear this. And
But
go,
not
I'm,
you.
I'm doing
somebody
that. Yeah,
else.
some guy, some good spry young comic who wants to make money.
Yes, absolutely. Is there anything else I really thought we should mention before we go here? So you got those for sale. When my wife and I watched your special.
Oh, that's
over the
nice.
last weekend.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
the one that's on YouTube. I forgot what it's called. How I See It.
Yeah, and I didn't even know that was gonna be a special. Helium was like, yeah, we want to do these things. We'll clip it all up so that you'll have these clips because that's the new formula. You know,
Yep.
people watch
Yep.
these like short clips or reels, and then that or whatever. And then out of nowhere, they're like, we're gonna release the whole hour. And I go, I didn't know that's what you were doing, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm not mad about it or anything. But and then they go, what do you want to call your special? And I text my manager like, my special. It's the thing on YouTube. I don't know if we call that a special. And so then I said, I don't know. I call it the way I see it because I didn't even remember which material I had done at that point. But I'm very proud of the albums. Please buy those. But the special on YouTube, if you want to take a peek, that's good too.
I liked it. I
Thank
think
you.
people should
That's
take
nice.
a peek.
Yeah, I wish I would have treated it like a special.
Interesting. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good though.
How about? Will you have plans for one on your own?
Yeah.
Like a real one that you're like putting the time in, and you won't have a
kind of-
waitress walking in front of you.
Kind of stopped chasing that dragon, if I'm honest. So it's like I used to try so hard like to impress Netflix or try to be like, how am I going to get the I was very proactive about stressing about it all the time. And then since I've stopped caring, that's what's taken my career off. Is like literally I've had a bit more success in the last like year since not trying and just leaning into being myself and not worrying about doing the clean jokes on the Tonight Show, like just by just going fuck it, like I just want to have fun. I have a great life. I get to go
Nice.
to all these great comedy clubs. I meet nice people. I drank all night last night with whoever wanted to stick around. And I'm very content, very happy with where I'm at.
Hell yeah.
And so it's been great. Like literally I hired a guy named Miles. He kept DMing me on Instagram going, hey, dude, I think you're one of the best comedians. You should be much more successful. And I was like, I don't really know what to do with this comment.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, listen, I do video reel things like where basically I'll take your stuff and I'll post it on your Instagram for you. And I said, yeah, what? And he told me a little number, a fee. I said, I can pay you that. Since doing that, it's been insane. Like I've been ignoring the internet like as some old dog going, I'm not putting it up there. People will steal my jokes.
Right.
And since doing it, it's been awesome. And it's been nice, but I'm very happy, very content.
I think it's good that Ian Bagg is somebody else who just was
Great
like,
guy.
I mean, you know Ian Bagg is. He's one of the fucking funniest
the
guys
best.
working and has
Absolutely.
been for a long time.
Yeah.
Is not the most famous comedian
know.
working.
Sucks.
He was just here recently and said something very similar that his numbers are exploding
Yeah.
because he's finally putting someone else is doing it for him, but
Yeah,
putting
well,
the clips out there.
I think, I've been doing this for 18 years, and I've never cared about the internet part of it, and my followers were just kind of, I had loyal fans, but it was just kind of steady. And then since this guy's been doing this thing, I mean, it's going, and I go, yeah, there's something. I mean, I knew there was something to the internet, but I didn't think it was that it could be this effective. And so that was just my fault. But speaking of Ian Bagg, did you guys just talk about hockey the whole time?
We talk about you can't not talk about hockey with Ian Bagg. Yeah,
yeah, he knows so much, and you said that you're a big hockey guy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, but he's one of my, like you said, he's one of the funniest people in the world. And I actually think if you like his reels on Instagram or his videos, you'd love him in person. Because there is a magic about seeing him in person that does not translate on the computer. It is so, I don't know how to describe it. There's like just a magic in the air when he does his crowd work. He's very, very good.
Yeah, we leave here exhausted from laughing so hard. Like,
and he's also
wipe
the only
away
comic.
Tears.
He's the only. If you come to my Friday show and you go, we love Jeff Dye so much, I'm going to come to his Saturday show, you're going to go, oh, wait, he did all this shit. Like this is the same stuff as last night. Not Ian.
No.
You could see all 5 of Ian's shows. It's going to be like 80% different.
Yep.
Which is so exciting. Like, it's kind of fun. But it's bad as a comic because you feel like you're missing stuff. I'll sit in the green room like, I should probably get out there. I don't want to miss any of Ian's things, which is very, very fun.
Yeah. He's freaking one of the best. One of the best. I think we covered. Oh, yeah, we need to get out of here because you have a lunch deal, and I need to get home to watch a daytime game show that Jeff Dye hosts.
Oh, that's right. Who the bleep is that? Yeah.
It's on in Minneapolis.
It's on. It's so easy. It's like the simplest show that's ever been made. And it's a blurry image of a celebrity, and then 3 people try to guess who it is before their opponents can. It's the dumbest, easiest, funnest game. I thought it was stupid. And
so I read it's like being test marketed right now? Or?
Yeah, so they're playing it in a bunch of markets for 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
And then if they like it, they'll pick it up and put it on Fox. And I don't know how it's doing. Nobody's told me anything.
Okay.
All I know is that everyone at Fox likes it, which is, I think, what's most important. I don't know, because 4 weeks is tough to convince anybody of anything.
Yeah.
But
locally, it's on Fox 9 Plus.
Yeah, Fox 9 Plus at 3:30.
Yep.
And yeah, check it out if you want. I don't know if you like game shows, but it's fun.
Well, for the most part, daytime television is awful. So
yes.
An option, a better option is a good thing. On this game, you're the host, 3 contestants, like you said. Have you had any trouble identifying these celebrities?
Oh, for sure.
You have?
So during the show, one of the big network notes was, stop saying that you don't know who it is.
I knew it.
And so that got
I knew it.
Anytime I made a line like I didn't know who it was, they edit that out and that is good. The host should play along. But here's the thing: I don't think anyone would know all these people. Because like we've mixed in politicians. I don't know any. If they weren't president, I don't know them. They're like, you don't know first responding deputy chief of affairs? I'm like, I don't know who this is. But evidently politics is so big now that like they are celebrities basically. They're like, that's Speaker of the House. I'm like, I don't know that lady. I don't know who that is. But then there's a lot of young celebrities. Like I think in one of the things we showed on television today, like one of the clips, it was like Meg the Stallion. Like, I don't know who that is.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. But also, we have young contestants who won't know Barbara Streisand, or they won't know B.B. King, or they won't. So it's in like, I'm not going to know TikTokers, right? Like, so it is so vast that I think most people wouldn't know a lot of them. That's part of the game. Yeah, it's fun though. Like, do you know who Harvey Levin is from TMZ?
Of course.
So Harvey Levin, he doesn't know celebrities. And he created TMZ, like the biggest celebrity empire like in the world. He was literally like at a thing the other day, and there was a celebrity, like he was talking to a celebrity, and then later they go, you know who that was? He goes, no, I didn't. And he's Harvey Levin.
Yeah.
So I don't feel too bad that I don't know some of the people.
And somehow they're connected to the show. TMZ's connected.
Yeah,
to
Harvey
the
Levin
show.
created the show.
He created the show.
Yeah, and so he's also the guy giving me the most notes. He's in my ear going, don't say you don't know these people. I was like, all right. But he also he like sympathizes because he's like, I also don't know these little.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But we have to pretend that we do.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been great.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, come back in a year and let's do this again.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we'll have
Hopefully
a ton to talk
I do.
about.
Hopefully I come back.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.